children an example of gluttony. They must learn to be sober-tempered. Mrs. Parker knows of a Romanian grocer by the name of Professor Roosevelt. He's a great specialist in yogurt. He has a degree in the school of yogurt making. Tomorrow I shall buy a large pot of native Romanian yogurt from him. One does not find such things in the suburbs of London. Yogurt is great for the kidneys, the stomach, the appendicitis, and the apotheosis. It was Dr. Mackenzie King who told me that. He's a good doctor. One can trust him. He never prescribes any medicine that he hasn't tried out on himself first. Before operating on Parker, he operated his own liver, although he was not the least bit ill.
But how is it Mackenzie pulled through while Parker died?
Because the operation was a success in the doctor's case, and not in Parker's.
Then Mackenzie is not a good doctor. The case should have succeeded in both of them, or else both should have died.
Why?
A consensuous doctor knows that if he cannot get along well with his patient, they should both die. The captain and his ship go down at the same time. The captain doesn't survive in the briny deep alone.
One cannot compare a patient with a ship.
Why not? The ship has its diseases too. Moreover, your doctor is as hale as one. So it would make sense the doctor should perish at the same time as Parker, just like the captain and his ship.
Ah, I hadn't thought of that. Then what conclusion do you draw from this?
All doctors are quacks, all patients too. Only the Royal Navy is honest in England.
But not sailors.
Naturally. Here's something I don't understand. They always put the age of the deceased persons, but never the newly born.
I never thought of that.
It says here that Bobby Watson died.
My God, the poor man, when did he die?
Why do you pretend to be astonished? You know it's been 2 years since his death. You know we went to his funeral a year and a half ago.
Oh, yes, I do remember. What I don't understand is why you yourself were so surprised to see it in the
I
papers.
didn't see it in the paper. I came up through it with an association of ideas because it's been 3 years since his death was announced.
Poor Bobby.
Which poor Bobby do you mean?
It is his wife that I mean, Bobby. Bobby Watson, she is called Bobby Watson too. It was only after his death that you could tell one from the other, and there are still people today who confuse her with the deceased and offer their condolences to him. Do you know her?
I've only met her once, and only by coincidence at Bobby Watson's funeral.
I've never seen her. Is she pretty?
One can say she has regular features, yet she is not very pretty. She's a little too big and stout. Yet one can say she also has irregular features, though she is still very pretty. She's a little too small and thin. She's a voice teacher.
And when do they plan to be married, those two?
Next spring, please.
I suppose we shall have to go to their wedding?
Suppose we shall have to give them a wedding gift. So I wonder what.
Why don't we give them one of those 7 silver slavers that we got for our wedding and have never been any use to us? Poor woman to be left a widow so young.
Fortunately, they have no children.
Ah, children. That's all they would have needed. How could they have managed?
Well, she's still young. She might very well be married. She looks so good in the morning.
But what would happen to the children? You know very well they have a boy and a girl. What are their names?
Bobby and Bobby, like their parents. Bobby Watson's father, old Bobby Watson, is very fond of the boy and might very well pay for his education.
That would be proper. And Bobby Watson's aunt, might very well in her turn pay for the education of Bobby Watson, Bobby Watson's daughter, so that Bobby Watson's mother, could remarry. Has she anyone in mind?
Yes, a cousin of Bobby Watson's.
Who? Bobby Watson?
Which Bobby Watson do you mean?
I'm speaking of Bobby Watson, son of Bobby Watson, the late Bobby Watson's other uncle.
It's not that one. It's Bobby Watson, the late Bobby Watson's father, the other Bobby Watson's aunt.
Are you referring to Bobby Watson, the commercial traveler?
All the Bobby Watsons are commercial travelers.
Ah, what a difficult trade. However, they do very well at it.
Yes, when there's no competition.
And when is there no competition?
Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Tuesdays.
3 days a week. And what does Bobby do on those days?
He rests, he sleeps.
But why does Bobby rest when there's no competition?
I don't know, I can't answer all your idiotic questions.
Are you trying to humiliate me?
Here,
men are all alike. You sit there with a cigarette in your mouth, or you rouge your lips, or powder your nose 50 times a day, or you drink like a fish.
Well, what would you say if you saw men acting the way women do? Drinking, smoking, rouging their lips, powdering their nose, and powdering their faces all day.
It's nothing to me. But if you're just trying to annoy me, you know very well that I don't care for that kind of joking.
Oh, my little Ducky Donalds, what an interesting little spitfire you are. You know I always said it was a joke. What a crazy pair of old lovers we are. Come, let's turn out the lights and go by.
I am the maid. I've had a very pleasant afternoon. I have been to the cinema with a man, and I have seen a film with some women. After the cinema, we went to drink brandy and milk, and read the newspaper.
I hope that you spent a pleasant afternoon, that you went to the cinema with a man, and that you drank brandy and milk.
And the newspaper.
Mr. and Mrs. Martin, your guests are at the door. They were waiting for me. They didn't dare come in by themselves. They were supposed to have dinner with you this evening.
Oh, yes, we were expecting them. However, they did not put in an appearance, and we decided to eat dinner without them. We've had nothing to eat all day. You should not have gone out.
But it was you who gave me permission.
We didn't do it on purpose.
I bought me a chamber pot.
Mary, go tell Mr. and Miss Martin to step in. We will change quickly.
Why have you come so late? You are not very polite. People should be punctual. Do you understand? But sit down there anyway now that you're here. Go on.
Excuse me, madam, but it seems to me, unless I'm mistaken, that I've met you somewhere before.
And I too, sir. It seems to me I've met you somewhere before.
Was it by any chance at Manchester that I called once?
How curious it is. I am originally from the city of Manchester, but I cannot say it was there I kind of glimpsed of your enough.
Good God, that's curious. I too am originally from the city of Manchester.
That is curious.
Isn't that curious? Only I left the city of Manchester about 5 weeks ago.
That is curious. I recently just left the city of Manchester about 5 weeks ago.
Madam, I took the 8:30 morning train, which arrives in London at 4:45.
How curious. I took the same train.
Perhaps it's on the train that I saw you.
It is indeed possible after all, but I do not recall it.
I traveled second class. There's no second class in England, but I always travel second class.
How curious that is. I traveled second class.
Oh, curious it is.